called Nincompoops in the News.
Nincompoofs in the news.
Got a big local story for Nincompoops in the News today.
All right, Brother Murphy.
I do. And let's see. Who wants to go first? 1, 2, 3. It's Ken Weaver.
All right. This level of pettiness just doesn't make sense. The shocking reason an insecure wife tipped a waitress just 2 pennies.
What?
Wow. Don't call my husband sweetheart.
Oh, no.
Savannah, a married content creator, inked on a restaurant receipt, ordering that her server refrain from making the moves on her man. To underscore her message, the discontented diner paid her $40.21 dinner bill, added the measly 2 cents in gratuity out of sheer spite, rounding out her grand total to $40.23. Don't play with me, Savannah spat in the caption of her trending TikTok clip, which has soared up over 10.5 million views from mostly outraged onlookers. One of them said, "Oh, girl, get therapy. It's not that deep, sweetheart." Insecure and broke, another jabbed. But Savannah says, "It's my money, ultimately. I can choose how I give it out. That's just the bottom line."
I like the sass you're adding.
I do too. That's just the bottom line.
So anyway, Savannah is my nincompoop in the news.
Come on, man.
Have you never eaten in public before? I mean, that's a normal thing for servers, especially female servers, to address people by honey or sweetie or whatever.
And let me tell you, in the South, it is a part of the glory of living in the South and growing up in the South is because you get an old school waitress that calls you sugar or honey.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I mean, and I don't. I mean, I've been around plenty of them, and I don't think we've ever spent a moment on it. Yeah. I mean, whatever. This insecure lady, come on. Yeah. She's an nincompoop, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but then she got 10 million or whatever clicks on her TikTok video, so she got exactly what she wanted out of it.
That's true. That's true.
So, Mr. Weber?
All right, mine comes from New Jersey. State police in New Jersey went to the home of Scott Jamerson around 11 a.m. this past Thursday to serve a warrant charging him with violating a final restraining order.
Uh-oh.
Well, he was found in his detached garage and then promptly arrested. Police found an illegal lab in the said garage as they arrested him for violating a restraining order. Inside the garage, police found what appeared to be a lab. A range of agencies secured and investigated the scene, including the FBI, hazmat teams, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. They didn't immediately specify what they found, but he was later charged with causing or risking widespread injury or damage, certain persons not to have weapons or ammunition, and possession of a controlled dangerous substance.
Don't mess with my Bunsen burner.
Obviously, he was taken to the jail and charged with violating the restraining order amongst these other charges he will now be facing. But that's kind of what happens when you're just a dumb criminal. You've already broken the law, and the police come to serve you with a warrant and find you breaking the law yet again.
He had a little lab.
Just a little lab.
Just a little something going on. Cooking a little something, probably? Maybe so. Yeah, that makes
it sounds like.
Well, that guy's a nincompoop too.
Yep.
And you are nincompoops. If you involved yourself with the Friday, February 28th economic blackout, and every single person that made any sort of buying decision today based on a one-day economic blackout, you, all of you, are nincompoops. If you don't know about it, the nationwide consumer boycott is today in response to big-name retailers rolling back their diversity, equity, and inclusion effort and President Donald J. Trump's effort to eliminate federal DEI programming. In an effort to combat, quote, corporate greed, people are encouraged to avoid shopping at all major retailers, purchasing gasoline, eating at fast food restaurants, using their credit or debit card. The movement is calling on people to shop and eat local instead and use cash. Well, what? I mean, that
makes a lot of sense.
That's even more nincompoopery than I thought I would get out of this story. People are said to be encouraged to avoid going to work if they can, which is, I've always loved these work boycotts because that is just an easy way for employers to identify who needs to get fired next.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would encourage that sort of behavior, actually, if I was a boss.
I don't go after businesses with boycotts. I've never used our platform that way. I don't believe in it. I do believe in alerting you as to information that might influence your buying habits, your buying decisions. That's as far as I go, right? I mean, we talked about the greatest example, the easiest example is Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light, right? We talk about that, and you, the consumer, made a decision that apparently Bud Light didn't want your money anymore because they were doing things that you disagreed with, and so you stopped giving them your money. And they lost so much market share, they have yet to recover and repair all of that. That is not necessarily a boycott so much as it is mass consumers deciding, you don't want me? All right, we'll go somewhere else. I felt like a long time, there's been a laundry list of businesses that just didn't want me as a customer anymore. And if you don't want me as a customer, okay, I'll take my business elsewhere.
Yeah.
But daily boycotts, this idea that you can do business with someone yesterday and do business with them tomorrow, but if you don't do business with them today, ooh, that'll get them?
Yeah.
Well, you're showing them.
Yeah, baby.
You're a nincompoop is what you are. There's no better way of saying it. You understand that if you don't change your buying habits permanently, the business is not going to be permanently impacted. I mean, imagine if you will, and I'm not saying this flippantly. I mean this. Imagine if you will, in 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama, when the Reverend Martin Luther King and other city leaders in the black community came together and they said, we've got to do something about this ridiculous segregation in Montgomery, Alabama. And what we ought to do, we ride way too many buses to be put in the back of the bus in the manner that we are. And so I declare that on Friday, February 28th, the one day we're going to not ride the bus. We'll ride the bus on Saturday and we'll ride the bus on Thursday and we'll ride the bus next week. But we're not riding the bus on Friday. Boy, that would have got them.
Yes, it would, boy. Big change. Big change.
All this does to me, it tells me that maybe tonight's the night to go out to eat or to go to Target. I don't really go to Wally World that much, but hell, maybe tonight's my night.
Might be.
Or if not, then, tomorrow's another day.
I don't know. They'll be in there thick as thieves tomorrow because these people are nincompoops. That's how you play nincompoops.
Yes, sir.
In the news, you get your votes in. Ken Weaver, Chris Webber, Matt Murphy. I know where my vote's going. I almost declared, for the first time, I think, in Nincompoops in the News history, I almost declared one of us a nincompoop. Have I done that to Ken Weaver before?
Yes.
Oh. All right. Well, I was going to make it a twofer on the Uranus story.
Why? You mean I can't see no. Oh, yeah, it's your Uranus. I guess maybe I am a nincompoop.
Why are you looking at his?
I don't think. If you want to see Uranus, look, if you want to look for Uranus, that's your own business.
You know what?
But if you start looking for mine,
why does this remind me of if you want to get a good look at a T-bone?
Why did somebody name that planet Uranus?
It was a 13-year-old.
Was it a joke?
13-year-old male. Had to be, right?
Surely there's something more to it. It's got to have a deeper meaning.
Here goes Weber's on the hunt. It reminds me, have you ever seen the Jim Gaffigan bit about the sperm whale?
No.
It's a great bit. Because he's like, what are they thinking? Because do they not realize that 13-year-old boys are going to be reading about this in biology or in science class? And, look, it's the sperm whale.
Yeah. You probably had a couple of academics say, it appears to be what is in our microscope.
And if you look at the whale very closely, it appears to be a sperm.
It looks just like a sperm.
No surprise here. The name references the ancient Greek deity of the sky, Uranus.
Okay, but how did...
Oh, I don't know how the Greeks said it. I'm sure they probably said it different.
Okay, so it was a kind of but yeah, I got it.
Zeus was drunk.
Okay, you know what we're going to call it? Hey,
Let's
everybody.
call her Uranus.
Hey, everybody.
Uranus.
From now on, we're calling George Uranus.
They said Uranus.
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 Well, you're a nuss. I'm not a nuss. You're a nuss.
Uranus.